Hey, like Muhammad Ali says, the will got to be stronger than the skills. Today wasn't about skills. Today was about will strength. And I knew the type of fighter I was fighting. This guy's a triathlon athlete, for crying out loud. And if I was tired, I knew he was more tired because I worked very hard for this. He's never been 12 rounds before. So we knew we had to break him down. Body shots were hurting him. But this is what it's all about, fighting the best. This is the fight game. You know, this is what...
The boxing landscape has been completely rocked as Teofimo Lopez stunned everyone by announcing his retirement in the aftermath of his crushing defeat to Shakur Stevenson at Madison Square Garden. What was meant to be the defining triumph of Teofimo's career instead unraveled into one of the most raw and painful scenes a sport has witnessed in years. Within hours of falling to Stevenson under the bright lights of MSG, Lopez revealed that he's stepping away from boxing with immediate effect. During a post-fight interview that is already being labeled one of the most jaw-dropping moments of 2026, Teofimo appeared emotionally drained, his voice heavy and his composure barely holding together. As he spoke, the weight of the moment was unmistakable, and what he shared next sent a seismic jolt through the entire boxing and combat sports community.
Tell me I'm not great. You cannot tell me I'm not the double greatest since Muhammad Ali. This is what I do. This is what I do best. Now, just to steer it up, I might retire after this. Retirement, man.
Fighting back tears, Teofimo spoke with brutal honesty, saying he had nothing left to give. He admitted he poured every ounce of himself into the bout, but even that fell short, and he could no longer put his body or loved ones through the grind. He made it clear this chapter was closed, calling the match his final appearance in the ring. The announcement blindsided everyone. No one inside the arena or watching from home was prepared for the former lightweight king to drop news that heavy, that fast. Within minutes, the internet went into meltdown, with fans flooding timelines in disbelief, mourning what felt like the sudden end of an era. But before breaking down the retirement itself and what comes next, we need to rewind to the action. Between the ropes that led to this moment, inside the ring, the night belonged entirely to Shakur Stevenson, who delivered a flawless display that reinforced why many view him as one of the most technically brilliant fighters in boxing today.
If you could make hundreds.
Of millions?
Yeah.
You believe you can make hundreds of millions outside of boxing?
I believe so, yes, I do.
Well, I understand what you...
Right. From the opening bell, Stevenson took command of every aspect of the contest. He dictated the tempo, managed the spacing, and imposed his own story on the fight with sharp technique and elite-level defense that steadily unraveled Lopez. Teofimo tried to set a fast, aggressive tone in the early rounds, pushing forward and hunting for the power shots his camp had been hyping all week. But time and again, Shakur slipped out of danger, making him swing at air before firing back with crisp counters that jolted Teofimo's head and caught the judges' attention. As the fourth round arrived, the shift was obvious. Lopez's movements and expressions betrayed growing irritation, as every adjustment he attempted was neutralized by Stevenson's composure, awareness, and masterful control of the ring.
I'm very happy. The name of the game in boxing is hit and don't get hit. I'm a master of it. I didn't get hit, and I hit the guy more than he hit me. So it was a great performance for me. I'm happy.
People see it close to the action later reveal that Lopez's corner could be heard urging him to slow things down, to stop chasing the fight and wait for clean openings instead of forcing exchanges. Those warnings became painfully relevant in the sixth round. That's when Stevenson unleashed a slick three-shot sequence that rocked Teofimo and sent him retreating toward the ropes, clinging on just to stay upright. The arena exploded as Shakur sensed the moment, silencing doubters by turning aggressive and unloading heavy shots on a visibly shaken opponent. Lopez managed to make it out of the round, but the toll was written all over his face. The clean punches had left marks, and his eyes carried a look of urgency, as if he was searching for a solution that simply wasn't there. From rounds 7 through 9, it turned into a one-sided showcase. Stevenson, brimming with confidence, completely took over, breaking Lopez down and making a former champion look alarmingly human.
Biggest fight of your career, you come up with looked like the finest performance of your career. Was that the performance you were looking for?
Nah, I came in here to prove a point. It wasn't the performance I was looking for because I came in here trying to prove a point.
Whenever Lopez attempted to build any momentum, Stevenson erased it instantly with flawless timing, sharp movement, and counters that not only piled up points, but chipped away at Teofimo's belief. One person watching from ringside later compared the scene to a grandmaster controlling a chessboard, with Shakur constantly thinking several moves ahead. In the 10th round, Lopez summoned whatever was left and launched a last-ditch surge, emptying the tank in search of a single fight-changing punch. He landed a few solid shots that briefly ignited the crowd, but the moment didn't last. Stevenson absorbed the pressure calmly and answered back with clean, authoritative combinations of his own. By the championship rounds, the mood shifted. For Lopez supporters, the closing minutes were painful as their fighter appeared drained and resigned, while Shakur coasted confidently to a clear and unquestioned win.
Opponent was a hell of an opponent. He came here, he pushed me to another level. He made me make adjustments in there, he made me think a little bit. And I had to show y'all that I'm a dog too. Y'all keep saying that I'm a runner, I'm pillow-fisted.
When the final bell sounded, there was no mystery left in the building. The outcome was obvious to everyone inside Madison Square Garden, and the expression on Teofimo's face said he understood it before the numbers were ever read. The judges confirmed what the fight had shown all night, turning in wide scorecards of 118 to 110, 117 to 111, and 119 to 109. Every round added up to a decisive victory for Shakur Stevenson, a bout that looked competitive on paper, but told a very, very different story in real time. As Shakur celebrated with his corner, soaking in the moment, Lopez remained alone across the ring, shoulders slumped, visibly shaken by the realization that on boxing's biggest stage, his absolute best still came up short.
For Stevenson.
Yeah, it was a great performance, man. He came in with a game plan. He didn't.
The in-ring interview that followed was tense and awkward, with Lopez offering clipped responses and clearly eager to escape the cameras. It didn't take long to see he wanted no part of the spotlight in that moment. But it was the conversation backstage that truly revealed the emotional damage this loss had inflicted. Away from the crowd, seated in a quiet interview room with visible bruises still fresh, Teofimo spoke with a vulnerability fans had never witnessed before. As he reflected on the fight, his tone was subdued and reflective, admitting that Stevenson outperformed him in every way. He acknowledged that Shakur followed his strategy flawlessly and left him without answers, giving him full respect for the performance. That level of honesty caught many off guard, especially from a fighter long associated with bold bravado and an unshakable belief in himself, even in moments of defeat.
Teofimo Lopez said, listen, everyone knows I won this fight. 90% of the people here were cheering for Lopez coming in. They all booed him after he...
That's when the mood changed completely. As the conversation turned toward his future and life beyond the ring, Teofimo's composure began to fade. His voice wavered as he spoke about how deeply boxing has defined him, explaining that he's been immersed in the sport since childhood and has given up nearly everything along the way. He spoke about missed moments, strained relationships, and the physical toll that years of non-stop sacrifice have taken on his body. The weight of it all was clearly catching up to him as he reflected on endless training camps and the punishment he's endured over time. Lopez then admitted that he truly believed he had the tools to stand above everyone else, that at his peak he felt unbeatable. But this night, he said, forced him to confront a hard reality he could no longer ignore. That raw admission, acknowledging his limits in such an unfiltered way, was difficult to watch, especially for longtime supporters who have followed his rise from the very beginning.
Didn't shock me. By the way, I don't think he was badly hurt with the first knockout. I think what he was more hurt by was realizing this little motherfucker's coming out there and winning round after round, outlanding him. He knew by the middle of that fight he had to turn something around. And by the way, he gave it a little bit more early in the second.
When asked whether this was just the heat of disappointment speaking, or if he was truly ready to walk away at just 27, With so much still ahead, Teofimo looked squarely into the camera and delivered a statement that will echo through boxing history. "I'm retiring. This was my last fight. I have nothing left to prove, nothing left to give. I need to focus on my family and my health." The room fell into stunned silence as the words sank in, leaving the interviewer momentarily speechless, struggling to form a follow-up. Across the globe, the reaction was instantaneous. Social media exploded, with boxing fans swarming Twitter, Instagram, and every platform imaginable, sharing shock, grief, and disbelief at the sudden end of Teofimo Lopez's career.
Teo is Gordo, and not just coming in trying to hammer damage. If he's Gordo, you got something going. There's going to be a lot of IQ up in there. Yo, I mean, which one of the two beat Loma? Which one of the two beat Josh?
Fans were quick to voice their disbelief online. One tweeted, "No way Teofimo is really retiring. He's just emotional. Give it a few weeks and he'll be back," already speculating about a comeback. Another fan posted, "This is heartbreaking. Teofimo gave us so many unforgettable moments. If this really is it, thank you for everything, champ." The conversation exploded immediately, with debates swirling over whether the retirement was genuine or just an emotional reaction to a crushing defeat that he might eventually reverse. Analysts and boxing insiders weighed in as well. ESPN boxing commentator Timothy Bradley chimed in on social media, saying, "Teofimo is one of the most gifted fighters of his era. I hope he takes time to reflect before making this decision. Permanent."
Teofimo Lopez, from a degree, he does have a high boxing IQ as well. He does. I mean, he was able to deal with Lomachenko. He was able to deal with Taylor and other guys. You know, he does possess a high boxing IQ. He has that explosiveness or that elite athletic.
Hall of Fame trainer Freddie Roach weighed in, remarking, "Losing a big fight is devastating, but retiring at 27, that's wild. The kid still has at least 5 to 10 years at the top level." Yet, for some insiders close to Teofimo's camp, the retirement talk didn't come completely out of left field. One source told reporters, Teofimo confided to those around him that if he lost to Shakur, he might hang it up. He gave absolutely everything in this camp and for this fight. That context lends weight to the idea that his decision wasn't purely emotional. It's something he had been seriously contemplating. In the same post-fight interview, Lopez also reflected on the immense physical toll the sport has taken on him over the years, spanning both his amateur beginnings and his professional career.
I'm leaning towards Teofimo.
Okay.
Just because I like him. I like him more. He's a good friend of mine.
Okay.
Yet, inconsistency and bouts of wavering motivation have also shaped Teofimo's career, keeping him from fully reaching his ultimate potential. If he truly steps away at just 27, the sport loses not only one of its most gifted fighters, but also one of its most unpredictable and at times frustrating talents. The coming weeks will be pivotal as Lopez processes loss, reconnects with his family, and decides whether this retirement is final or simply a moment of raw emotion. For now, the boxing world can only watch and wait, wondering if we've truly witnessed the last fight of Teofimo Lopez, or if another chapter in his remarkable and unpredictable journey is yet to come. That's it for today. For the latest updates, breaking moments, and all the action from the world of boxing, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss our content.